Hi guys, Radhika here again. So this video is actually just some musings that I have um, regarding how society actually creates narcissists. Now I know that we say that narcissists breed narcissists because they are basically narcissists are people who live unconsciously. um, so I mean, they do a lot of things consciously. They want to trouble people, they want to spread chaos, they want to spread negativity, all those things they do consciously. But what I mean by living consciously is like in the spiritual sense. They do not live consciously because they all are always ignoring their the good side that we all have. We have an angel and we have a devil always in our mind speaking. And what they do is they always feed the devil, they don't feed the angel. And little by little the angel that they have, it keeps on getting weaker and weaker. So this is a I mean, this has been depicted in cartoons and in like literature, in religions, in spirituality, that we all have this good and bad, like a battle of good and bad which is going on inside of us. And the narcissist always chooses the bad, and they keep doing that, till the end. And what happens is, so children of narcissists see that this is happening, and children are innocent, right? So some of them might see that, oh, my narcissistic parent is winning, and also the narcissistic parent might be grooming this child to become like a golden child. And so they continue this behavior of acting entitled. And then there is the scapegoat who can also turn into a narcissist. But it's an empathic narcissist. Okay, so it's a narcissist who always feels bad, who is always like hurt, etc. So, or they might just go all out, just like realize what is happening and become an empowered empath. Okay, so that's what we all want to be. We even want the narcissists to become empowered empaths in the end of it all. So yeah, so I have actually grown up in the Indian society, because I lived in India all through my childhood. And for me, my parents were, we all are narcissists, right? We all are narcissists. We all are on the NPD spectrum. But some people are up, some people are like, some people are more towards the malignant end, some people are in between, some people are, towards the good side. So basically, my parents were not malignant, but as is in most families, I do see traits of narcissism in my family too. And that is because my father's family had it, and so did my mother's family. Okay, and if we actually go to see the history of everything, it's like, in India, if you go and look at families, a lot of families will demonstrate narcissistic personality disorder. And I'm just saying, I mean, I just want to give a disclaimer. I'm not against India or against any country in this world for that matter. Um, I'm just talking about my experience, and I grew up in an Indian society, so that is the only thing I can talk about which I have experienced. Okay, that's why I'm talking about it. It's not like I have an agenda against Indians or against Indian families or against anyone in this world. I don't have an agenda. But yeah, that is what we are always observing our surroundings and making like assumptions, or making conclusions, or making insights, or some understandings based on our reality, on what we are seeing around us. So that's why I'm talking about Indian families, but I'm sure people who have grown up in other cultures, in other countries, are also seeing this around them. Because after all, we are all humans, no matter what stamp we want to put on ourselves, that I'm an Indian, or I'm an American, or I'm a female, I'm a male, I'm so and so, so and so, whatever. I have this degree, I have that degree, this is my profession. at the end of it all, we all are living beings, and we all pretty much feel the same things. And some of us hide the things better, and some of us choose to feel particular things over the others. But at the core of it all, we are all complete potential to feel everything that is present, to feel. We have the potential to feel everything. So basically, what I wanted to focus on is how I have seen that we encourage as a society, not just in India, even overall in the world, how we encourage narcissism. Okay, so um, narcissism at its core is just ego. Okay, it's just ego. So if I feel that I'm an educated woman, I have a job, I'm a software engineer, and I look at someone who is not educated. Okay, maybe it's a janitor. Okay, it's the janitor who cleans like the kitchen in our office. And I look at that janitor, and if in my mind I feel even for a microsecond that I am better than that person, it is a sign of narcissism. Okay, does that make me a malignant narcissist? Of course not. It doesn't. But I think it is very important, from these malignant narcissists, we have to recognize how we are also in some way narcissistic. If I look at a person, a friend of mine who probably did not get married or who got divorced, and even for a little bit of time in my mind, if I feel like, oh, she could not handle her marriage, you know, I'm not saying I feel those things, but I feel people feel those things. Like, even when I would complain about the narcissist in my life, I did get a lot of judgment from a lot of people. And they felt like this is a woman who's not able to handle relationships. And I got a lot of judgment. And because I'm so empathic, I can I mean, I don't want to praise myself, but I get the intent. When they say something, they might say something completely different, but when they say it, I get the intent behind what they are saying. And their intent used to be like, oh, you are overreacting, or you cannot handle it, or you have too much stress because you also have a job. So a lot of time, women who are housewives, they feel that other women should not work. And they will make you feel bad, because it's like you have had a child and you're working, and now you're complaining about your mother-in-law. Of course it's going to happen, because you're overloading yourself. So it's kind of like the blame gets shifted from the narcissist to you, because you are not handling the situation. Now, in such cases, I want to point out that the person who's helping you is showing traits of narcissism, because they are not empathetic. Okay, they are not empathetic to your situation. What they are doing is they are comparing themselves against you, and they are trying to prove that they are better. Okay, so they are not trying to solve your situation, they are trying to feed their own ego with your situation. So it happens in society, and it happens because I have seen, the main reason this happens is because of bad parenting, and also because of living in a society which is very ego driven. It is an ego driven society. We are always judging everyone, we are always judging ourselves, we even are always judging our children. I see that in so many people. I go to meet my friends, and everyone is asking, oh, is your son walking now? And then you tell them yes he is, and then they will immediately in their minds calculate what is the age her son is, when did my son start walking. And if their son is still not walking, they kind of get worried, that, oh, my son isn't walking yet. If their son or daughter started walking before, then they will say, oh yeah, my son and daughter, they started walking at so and so age. And I'm like, really, you want to compare the age that your child started walking on? It's such a natural process. Just let them why do you have to make everything into metrics, like everything into a competition, everything into an ego boost or an ego, like beating, that you either feel good or you feel bad, but you're never going to feel just peace. You have to feel peace, you have to be okay with who you are. And I think that's a big teaching that narcissists indirectly teach us, because they beat us down so much that we have two ways to choose. The first way to choose is that we choose to boost our ego and become a narcissist ourselves. Or the second choice is that we give up this competition, this rat race, because it's a rat race. Even in the end, if you win, you are still a rat. And even if you increase your speed, you are a faster rat. And do you really want to be a rat? That is the question you have to ask yourself. And it's everywhere. Like I work in a corporate job, but it's the same, right? You have positions, you have RSUs that are given to you, you have job titles. Even if you are not working, even in the household, I have friends who are really close friends of mine, and who will invariably talk about such things. I don't think they even have that intention in their mind, but they will talk about things like, oh, so and so cooks so fast. I made so many dishes so fast. So it's like a way of boosting your ego, or whose house is the cleanest, who has the biggest house, who has the best car. And all these things are just feeding your ego. And so it's really eye opening to understand about narcissism, about narcissistic personality disorder. And especially when it's malignant, the case is really different. But if you connect all the dots, you will see how society and how even families, they kind of always reward one behavior and another behavior is not so good. So it's hard to reach this non-dualistic state where you are okay with all kinds of behavior, including behavior of a narcissist, because if you really believe in non-dualism, that everything is created by God, then even the narcissist has been created by God. Even the narcissist's behavior has been created by God. And when you go to the level of non actually understanding non dualism, it has to be a state where all judgment is given up, because there is total surrender to everything that creation has to offer you. So you have to surrender to everything. And of course, that's a very difficult stage to reach, because even for me, it is very difficult to believe that everything is good. Because when I see someone hitting a child, I can never feel that that is a good thing. I cannot. I just don't know what can justify that act and how it can fit into this non-dualism. Or if I see something bad happening to an animal being tortured or anything like that, for me it's very hard to put that into the teaching of non-dualism. um, but yeah, it I mean, maybe I have things to learn before I can reach that level where I see everything without judgment. So yeah, so I just wanted to make this quick video on how, as a society, because we reward certain kinds of behavior and we don't reward other kind of behavior, the other kind of behavior kind of becomes like our shadow self, because it is a part of you, but it is the part of you that was never rewarded while you were growing up. So we learn to repress this part inside of us. And this repression, it creates a non-validation, because we are not accepting a part which is inside of us, but we are just not accepting it. So it's like, I have this hand, but while growing up, everyone hated this hand. They hated it, and they said that you have an ugly hand, it's a dirty hand, this that. So this hand is a part of me, but I refuse to accept this as my hand because it has been so criticized and it's been so put into my mind that this hand is not a good hand. And the same happens with parts of our personality which society doesn't like, which our parents don't like, which our friends don't like, or which even we don't like. Okay, so because of that, these things become our shadow self. Okay, but these are inside of us, they are there, and that's why we hate them so much. And because they are inside, but we are unable to accept that they are inside of us. And yeah, so this is how the shadow of the self gets created. It's a part of you that you don't want to accept, and how society and families play a part, and even us, we also play a part in creating the shadow. Okay, but there are ways in which you can accept this shadow and you can integrate yourself with your shadow self, and like this you can become whole. Everything that is inside of you, the parts you like, the parts you don't like, you integrate them and you accept them without judgment. And then once you do that, you will have validated all the parts of yourself. You will need no validation from anyone else in the world. So that's of course a hard process, but I want to make a video on that. It's called Shadow Work. It's by this psychiatrist called Carl Jung. And yeah, I hope to make a video on that soon. So yeah, I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Thanks. Bye.